dental professionals, welcome back to the Gulfie Dentist online coaching. So now let's talk about the Gulf exams and understand how actually the Gulf exam works. So coming back to the Gulf exams, so we know that compared to the Western countries, our Gulf exams are much easier and probably best faster to clear and already start working. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about the countries that we have. Okay, so Gulf mainly consists of the UAE, where usually people flock into, and then you have Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and then Bahrain. So all these countries have specific licenses to work in that specific country. So first thing you have to understand is that with one license of one Gulf country, let's say with Qatar license, you cannot work in the UAE license. So I said this because I keep getting a lot of questions if they can use the same license to work in another Gulf country or an Arab country. So the answer is you cannot. Now, I'll start with UAE because that is the most common country where everyone goes into. So UAE has actually 3 licenses, for which if you want to work in Dubai alone, you need to get the license called DHA. Okay, so DHA stands for Dubai Health Authority. And with DHA license, you cannot work in any other Emirates or states inside UAE. Okay. Now, the next state is the Abu Dhabi or the Emirate, which is in fact the capital of the UAE. So in order to work in Abu Dhabi, you need to take the HAAD license. So HAAD stands for Health Authority of Abu Dhabi. Okay, now it is actually renamed as DOH, which stands for Department of Health. So with the DOH or HAAD license, you can work in both the Emirate of Abu Dhabi and a small city named as Al Ain. Okay, now the third one comes your MOH license. MOH stands for Ministry of Health, and Ministry of Health is the license authority that covers the rest of the Emirates in the UAE. So you have Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, Sharjah, Al Quwain, Kalba, Gurfa, all those small places out there is under MOH license. Okay, now the next country, Oman, you have the exam called OMSB. I think it stands for Oman Medical Specialty. I don't know what B stands for, but yeah, this is basically the Oman license. Again, Oman also has their own Ministry of Health, which gives the license. So Oman, you get the MOH license, but the exam conducting is through the OMSB. Now for Qatar, it is called the QCHP. I think Qatar Council of Health Professionals is what it stands for. With QCHP and Oman and other countries, you can work with that one license in the entire country. So only UAE is having 3 licenses, which is different for each emirate. Now, when you come back to Saudi, you have something called SDLE, Saudi Dental Licensing Exam, and SCHFS. So this is for SCHFS is for specialist. Now, these are basically just names you have to understand about the exam. So SDLE is for general dentist and all other dental professionals, whereas SCHFS is for specialist. So specialists, they have a different board, but the exam is again conducted by the same centers. Now for Kuwait, you have KDLE, Kuwait Dental Licensing Exam, and Bahrain, you have BDLE or NHRA. So Bahrain has stopped taking dentist completely since 2021 July onwards. So please don't look into Bahrain at all. Okay, you can completely leave out Bahrain if you are a general dentist, but there is still scope for specialist dentists. Now, countries like Bahrain, Saudi, and Oman. Okay, so they have started with their Arabization. Okay, so Oman, it's called Omanization, and Saudi, it's called Saudization, and Bahrain, it's called Bahrainization. So it basically means that they are replacing their health sectors especially with their nationality people. Okay, so Bahrain, the dentistry is completely reserved for the general dentistry, is completely reserved for Bahrain nationals only. They are not taking foreign dentists into that license. So maybe Oman and Saudi will follow the same, but they haven't officially announced yet. So if you are looking into other countries, think about it twice. Do a good research before you jump into which country you want to go. Now, coming to the exam type, let me just close this. Okay, so the exam type for general dentist, again, you have only the theory exam where you have multiple choice questions. So for dental assistants and dental hygienist, they have about 70 to 100 questions, like depending on which exam. Like, some exam Qatar has 100, MOH has 100, like, and DHA has only 70 questions. So it varies from 70 to 100, and then they need to have a 50% pass. Okay, so they need to score 50 to get a pass. Now for general dentist usually have a question range from 100 to 150. Again, it depends on the exam that you are taking. Like, for example, according to the current curriculum, DHE is having 100, MOH is 150, HAAD is also 150, out of which generally you need to score about 60% pass. Now, the pass percentage is a bit hard to say because Gulf exams, what they do is they actually don't release the result percentage. Okay, so what they say is whether it is a pass or a fail. So that's it, all you get to see when you get your results. Now, only Qatar exam actually shows the pass percentage along with the detailed, segregation of the marks in which subject you got how much percentage or mark. Okay, that is a good thing. But rest of the exam, they just doesn't show. Now, again, coming back to the MCQs for specialist dentist, again, it depends. They do have like around 100 questions, just the MCQs, and specialists actually need 70% correct answers to get the pass percentage. Now, see, all these exams are basically computer-based tests, okay? So what you have is, you have a timer that is running backwards, during which you actually have to finish all these number of questions and click submit. So some like if it is about 100 questions or below, you have about 2.5 hours, and if it is like 150 questions, you have 3 hours. Now, I have given KDLE separate because KDLE is an entirely different topic. The way they work with the license processing is entirely different. So maybe I'll talk about KDLE separately in another video. Now, coming back to the syllabuses. Now, syllabus is almost all the same. Basically, they ask your final year subjects like, endo, operative, prosto. I'm not going to write it down. We know the subjects. So, see, for the exam, what they want is they want to understand if you are given a clinic or a hospital to manage on your own, whether you are capable or not. So, basically, they want to understand whether you can diagnose a case properly, whether you can plan a good treatment, whether you are good with maybe the ideal preparations of crown and what crown is required when to wear. Okay, so these and all are the fields where they actually want to know your expertise in. Okay, and especially like cases like emergency cases. Okay, they do ask a lot of questions based on that as well. So we are going to basically redo our final year subjects for the Gulf exam. Now, talking about the exam centers, so I told you already, so we have the exams as computer based test, so that is CBT. Now, exams are conducted by two kinds of exam givers, I would say. One is a Prometric and the other one is a Pearson View. So, Prometric conducts exams for MOH, UAE, then DHA, again UAE, QCHP, that is for Qatar, and then OMSB also for Oman. Now, Pearson View conducts exam for HAAD, that is Abu Dhabi and Alain, and then the Saudi exams are also conducted by the Pearson View group. Now, again, you have centers all around the world, except now again KDLE, the Kuwait exam. You have to write the exam in Kuwait, inside Kuwait. You cannot write the exam anywhere else in the world. So again, that is a different topic altogether, which I'll explain maybe in another video. Now, many people often ask about the exam dates. Okay, so again, since these exams are conducted through computer, the exam dates are available throughout the year. Okay, the only thing you have to make sure is to book maybe 1 or 2 months ahead of the date you want to probably take, because people actually book ahead and you might not get the slot when you look to book maybe 1 week or something ahead. Okay, so plan your exam accordingly and then book 1 to 2 months way ahead of your planned date. So I hope I have covered everything about Gulf exams.